Starting with the stopper prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namo Om Ajnanandamidandasya Jnanandjana Shalakayam Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namah Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Sacharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we'll be starting fourth canto. So before starting fourth canto, I just want to briefly mention about Purushottam Mass, that current month. So currently, like we are doing what is called as, we are in Purushottam Mass. So this is also called as Adhika Mass. So where there, if you see calendar, there are no events, like there are no special occasions like that in that calendar. So, but it's like every 3 years, 1 month will be added in our Vedic calendar. So, like there are, previously it used to be called as Malamas. That means it's like contaminated month, and there are no auspicious activities cannot be performed. So like that. So the story is like she, like the personified of that month, she approaches the Supreme Lord and reports that everyone everyone doesn't like me. So like that she approaches. Then Lord awards benediction that like your month will be called as Purushottam, and anyone who performs any devotional activities in this month will be greatly amplified. So therefore, just like we celebrate Kartik month, any activity performed, the spiritual activity in the month of Kartik is many times multiplied. So similarly, this Purushottam Mass also, Adhik Mass also, any spiritual activity will be like it will have multiple effects. So like everyone can take advantage of this month to do more spiritual activities like reading, chanting, the devotional activities. So with that, in the month of auspicious Purushottam, we will start discussing about fourth canto. So fourth canto, if you see the structure, like previously, like the flow, like in the third canto, first canto, the main theme is that the setting the scene, like how Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami, they came together and the Bhagavatam discussion has started. And in second canto, more like the importance of bhakti and creation aspect, how this world was created from the Supreme Lord, that was highlighted. And that theme continued in third canto, like how this world was created and how Brahmaji created subsequent first generation. So in that first generation, the first person that was born, a human being, is that Swayambhu Manu. And so that lineage, Swayambhu Manu and Shatarupa, they had three daughters, Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. And they had two sons, Uttanapad and Priyavrata. So from third canto, 21st chapter onwards, the description of these daughters and sons will is started. So that's where we have seen the episode of Kartan Muni and Devahuti. Devahuti is like one of the daughters, Swayambhu Manu and Shatarupa. So now in fourth canto and fifth canto, this theme will continue, where the like where the sons of this theme will continue, where the Akuti and Prasuti, their daughters, they will be explained in first chapter. And Devahuti is also one son and nine daughters we know. So one son, Kapildev activities are described in third canto at the last nine chapters we have seen. And the nine daughters, those are how they are married and how they produced. Those are also briefly discussed in first chapter. And remaining two chapters in this chapter, remaining two daughters also described, Akuti and Prasuti. So while describing Prasuti activities, there is mention that the one of the descendants, Sati, she gave up her life without producing any children. So in that there is a question, why she gave up her life. So that's where the episode of Daksha Yajna will start. So we will be discussing this Daksha Yajna, but like it is covering around 6 chapters, how Daksha insults Lord Shiva and the subsequent actions and how Daksha is like later punished and Sati gives up her life. So all those incidents we will see. So these are described here. And then, so after describing these three daughters, now focus is like describing the dynasty of the two sons. So out of that, Priyavrata is elder, but he immediately will not take to the kingdom. So therefore, first Uttanapada dynasty is explained. So in that Uttanapada dynasty, the stories of Dhruva Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, Prachin Barshi, and Prachetas will come. So these are the main topics in fourth canto. These stories will be explained. And in the fifth canto, the dynasties from Priyavrat Maharaj, where the Nabi, Rishabhadev, Bharat and Gaya, these stories will come. So those are all explained in fifth canto. So this is the flow, how Bhagavatam is flowing. Like Bhagavatam is like a structured thing. It's not that randomly some things are spoken. It's like structured, and we can when we see all the structures, how everything is progressing, we can appreciate the construction. So with that background, so this is how, and also this is like one way of time way how it is progressing we are seeing. And also we can see some division of the topic wise also, it is like giving some information. So where the Sarga aspect is mainly covered. Sarga means creation. Visarga is subsequent creation of Brahmaji. So Sarga aspect is is mainly described in second canto and third canto also to some extent in fifth chapter to 11th chapter. And Visarga aspect, how Brahmaji created, that is also dealt in third canto. We have seen Brahmaji's different creation in 11th chapter, 12th chapter, 28th chapter. And their subsequent creation is being explained now. Swayambhu Manu and his descendants that we are seeing. We are explaining third canto, fourth canto, fifth canto. The aspect of Sthanam, portion of Sthanam is situation, how different planets are situated. So these will be described in fifth canto end, where geography of the universe will be described. So in this way, there is a conceptual division of topics also parallelly going on. So in the first chapter, so the daughters of Manu, like Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti, they will be described. So as mentioned, Swayambhu Manu had three daughters, Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. So Devahuti is described. Now Akuti, the daughter, she was married to Prajapati Ruchi, and they produced a son and daughter, Yajna and Dakshina. So they are actually the incarnation of the Supreme Lord and the incarnation of the Mother Lakshmi. So Yajna was adopted by Manu. So Ruchi, Prajapati Ruchi was given in marriage to Akuti. Akuti was given in the condition that the son that was born to them will be taken by Manu. Because Manu understood that Supreme Lord will appear in this in her home, so therefore he requested. So in that way, Yajna was adopted by Manu. So Yajna was raised by Manu, and Dakshina was raised by Akuti and Prajapati Ruchi. And later on, they were married because they are eternal couple. So they, although they appear together, they were married. They are like eternally uh, yeah, couples. So they produced their sons. So their sons are called as Tushitas. So in general, any Manu will have like Manu's dynasty. In every Manvantara, there are 6 personalities that are said to be ruling in the Manvantara. So they are like Manu himself, and there will be Manu Putras. They are like sons of Manu who rule, who like kind of control they take different posts and control. And Devatas in that Manvantara, particular Manvantara, in particular Rishis and Amshavatara, the Lord which will appear in that particular Manu. And then this way there are 6 kind of personalities in each and every Manu. So that is this description is that there are first Manvantara. Currently 7th Manvantara is going on. So in the first Manvantara, the Manu is Swayambhu Manu. Manu Putras are Uttanapada and Priyavrata. And the sons of Manu, they are the sons of Uttanapada and the incarnation of the Supreme Lord is Yajna. And also he also become Indra also, that Manu. Their 12 sons, Tushitas, they become the Sureshwara, Devatas in that particular Manvantara. So in this way, and there are 7 sages are also given later on. So in this way, every Manvantara, these 6 sets of people keep on changing. So that is how the overall government in every Manvantara. So Devahuti's description. So this is the brief description of the daughter, one daughter Akuti. And Yajna, the activity of Yajna is that he will protect Manu and he will install Dharma in the first Manvantara, briefly described in 8th canto also. So now the Devahuti daughters, they are mentioned. So they Devahuti daughters, like 9 daughters are there. They the lineal these daughters, if you see the names of these daughters, they are all very much familiar to us. You know Arundhati, right? Arundhati was one of the daughter of Devahuti.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Babu.
So the lineage, the daughters that were mentioned, that
Hare Krishna.
one minute.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'll just say that is there. You are able to see the table. So these are the daughters that were given. These names are they are there throughout the Vedic literature. So some of the names like Kala was married to Marichi. They produced Kashyapa Muni and Purnima. So Kashyapa Muni was the one who subsequently generated so much generation data. So Anasuya was married to Atri Muni, and we know this is like Anasuya is very famous in Vedic literature. In Ramayana and Mahabharata, so many stories will come. She is like so much. Sita also learns lot of lessons from Anasuya and Ramayana. So they produce 3 famous sons. Dattatreya, who is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Durvasa Muni and Soma, they are Amshas of Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma, respectively. Shraddha, Angira, Avirbu, Pulas was married to Pulastya, Gati was married to Pulaha, Priya was married to Kratu, and Arundhati, she was married to Vasishtam. Arundhati is also a very famous serial. Keep on reading her glories. And Chitti or Shanti was married to Adarva. Khyati was married to Dhruvi. So in this way, like all the daughters, they produce the very famous. These are all personalities. They will keep on coming in different stories in Mahabharata and Ramayana. So if you see one thing, these great dynasties they are mentioned, and these are like in different Puranas, different scriptures like Mahabharata and Ramayana. These are the same personalities, the same way the dynasties are described. So by doing this cross-sectional study, we can understand that how like all these things are, it's not like some stories written by some different personalities. These are all history and they are all recorded. So like one person or different personalities writing different scriptures will not be able to match everything. You will not be able to relate everything correctly. So by serious understanding of these scriptures in different ways, one can come to understand these are actually histories and they are all recorded. It's not like something manipulated like that. So like sometimes in ninth canto, so many names of dynasties will keep on coming. And if you read Ramayana and Mahabharata, the same things are repeated there also, like how these dynasties have come, how this descendant have come. So, for example, here you see Avirbu, one of the daughter of Devahuti, was married to Pulasthya, and he had two sons. They had two sons, Agastya and Vishrava. So this Vishrava gave birth to Kuvera one through his first wife, and the Vishrava through second wife gave birth to Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishana. This is what even Ramayana says. Ravana's father is Vishrava, and he fights with Kuvera, his brother, who is like brother of his other's wife. So these are all stories narrated in Ramayana also. Palestinian is grandfather. So that's how the different dynasties have appeared in Vedic literature. That is mentioned here. So now the story of Atri Muni is mentioned briefly here, where like when Maitreya Muni mentioned that the amshas of Vishnu took place in Atri Muni, Vidura asked question why they all took birth in this Atri Muni's place. So Maitreya Muni says that Atri Muni has performed tapasya the Riksha mountain for a long time. He controlled his senses. And he was like completely holding the breath and remained standing on one foot for 100 years and only breathing. That's it. He was not eating at anything. So, and his particular prayer is that, "Oh Supreme Lord, I surrender to the Lord of the universe. May He give me the children equal to Him. Whoever he may be, let him, whoever is the controller of the three worlds, that person should come and he should give me children equal to him." So like that, he performed strong, severe tapasya. So heat is also coming from his end, and it's like everyone is undergoing that effect of his tapasya. So, like these three personality, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, those three has also appeared to Atri Muni. And Atri Muni, when he opened his eyes, he saw Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and he was surprised. And he asked, "I prayed for one Lord, who is the controller of this world, but three personalities have appeared." So basically, Atri Muni, he doesn't have complete understanding that he's a complete full controller. So he is saying who are the controllers of this universe. So controllers of this universe, if we have taken all these three are controllers of this universe as the controllers of the three modes. So these three has appeared. So Atri Muni has prayed that he praised them with sweet words, and you are maintaining, you are creating, maintaining, and destroying the universe. I therefore offer respects to you. And I actually, my desire is to produce progeny. So, and please be merciful, fulfill my desire. So, like that, Atri Muni has offered his prayers. So, Atri Muni is like not considered as a pure devotee because he has a like he doesn't have desire to please the Lord. Means it is not like pure desire, but his desire is to have children through the Lord. So there is a difference. Like worshipping the Lord for some material desire, he is not wanting them, not wanting to serve them, but he is wanting to have a son like them. So this way, a little distinction is made. So they all agreed and they appeared as their amshas, as Soma, Dattatreya, Durvasana. So Dattatreya is considered to be an amsha of Lord Vishnu, and he gave later on the knowledge in Bhagavatam to in 11th canto. There is one section called as 24 Gurus, where that Dattatreya spoke that knowledge to Yadu. So that was mentioned. So Durvasini is an amsha of Lord Shiva. Amsha means is like it's not like he's Shiva, but he is some power of Lord Shiva is invested in Durvasini. Similarly, Soma, Soma is like moon god, Chandra. That's some power of Brahma is invested in Soma. So they again are three sons. So, and anyone who hears, so this is like a story of Atri Muni, and then these are like there are so these dynasties of all the 9 daughters, they were also mentioned as we have seen. And now, so there are 2 daughters are completed. Now Prasuti, the third daughter of Devahuti and Manu, she was given in marriage to Daksha. Daksha was a Prajapati. He was born to Brahmaji. So he was the one who generates lot of people in this world. So therefore he is also categorized as Prajapati. So Prasuti and Daksha, they gave birth to 16 daughters. So in the 16 daughters, first 13 they were given to a personality called as Dharma. So out of them, one of the personality like Murti, she out of 13 daughters, Murti, she gave birth to Naranarayana Rishis. So Naranarayana Rishis, they are incarnations of Krishna and Arjuna. Actually, Krishna appeared as Narayana and Arjuna appeared as Nara. So when they Naranarayana Rishis have appeared, all the devatas they understood that a great like Supreme Lord has taken birth, and they felt very happy in seeing the appearance of the Naranarayan Rishi, and they like very offered they celebrated in their way in heavenly planets with sounding and then showering flowers and dancing, and they offered also prayers to them that who has appeared in the house of Dharma in the form of sage to show the universe which is created was belong to him. He creates, maintains, and all this universe is situated within him. So please glance us, O Lord, upon all of us devatas in order to destroy the disturbances caused by the other people. So in this way they offer prayers, they celebrate. So these Naranarayan Rishi, they were the one they were the personalities, worshipful personalities of Vedavyas who are situated in Badrikashram. That's where Vyasdeva has written this Bhagavatam. That's why we every time recite Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam. We are addressing the Naranaran Rishi, who are the presiding deities in Badrikashram, from where this Bhagavatam is. And also later on in 11th canto, it was mentioned that these Naranarayan Rishis, they were so fixed in their dharma that like Indra was trying to disturb Narayan Rishi by creating some apsaras, but Narayan Rishi, he was not even disturbed, and in fact he was not even become angry also. So he conquered lust as well as anger also. And Narayan Rishi, in order to like seeing the activities of Indra and others, he produced Urvashi from his thighs, and that Urvashi enchanted all the devatas. So in this way, his glories were mentioned. So they went to perform tapasya in Gandhamadani, and they only appeared as they entered into the Krishna and Arjuna. So Krishna and Arjuna, like the portions of Krishna and Arjuna, they were born as Narayana and Rishi. And when Krishna and Arjuna they appear, they are the Supreme Lord. So all the portions of all the incarnations will be present in the when Krishna and Arjuna appear. In this way, they also appeared when Krishna and Arjuna appeared. So in this way, Narayana and Rishi activities are mentioned. And then the 16 daughters were there, right, to Daksha. The 13 daughters were given to Dharma. Then one daughter, Swaha, was given to Agni. They produced 3 sons, and which further produced 45 children, total together called as 49 Agni Devatas. So, in this way, when sacrifices are performed, that Swaha, that word is also used to be like the wife of Agni. So, in this way, when yajnas are performed, offerings are also made to these 5 gods also. And 15th daughter Swada was given in marriage to Pitrus. They produced Vaina and Dharani. The 16th daughter Sati was given in marriage to Lord Shiva, and they don't have any children. Sati gave up her body before reaching maturity because her father Daksha appointed Lord Shiva. So that Maitreya Muni mentions. So hearing this question, Vidura, he inquires. So like it is like very surprising, right? A daughter like Daksha, like Daksha had a daughter, Sati, and he was very much affectionate to her daughter. But he maintained a lot of enmity to his son, like daughter's husband Shiva. So how did it happen? Please narrate it. So, this way, Vidura asked question like Daksha had a lot of affection to Sati, and Sati was married to Shiva. So and also Shiva means auspiciousness. He is considered to be the guru for the whole world, and he doesn't have any enemies, who is always peaceful, and he is satisfied in himself, Atmaram. So in this way, Shiva is so gentle personality, and he is also universal deity in this world. So how could Daksha maintain hatred towards Shiva? Daksha is a Prajapati, he is knower of the Vedas. How could he maintain that hatred towards Shiva? So please narrate this. So in this way, he asked a question. So this is how the narration of Daksha Yajna, the episode of Daksha will start. So once upon a time, there was one great sacrifice being performed by universal leaders. So in that in that assembly, Daksha was the Prajapati. He was like great king, and he was the one who is performing that sacrifice. And all the devatas, rishis, all the fire devatas, agni devatas. So everyone has assembled in that assembly. So in that, Daksha entered the assembly. So when Daksha entered the assembly, it was like he was like shining like sun. So he had lot of effulgence. So he was a great personality. He had lot of effulgence, and everyone seeing the shining, everyone stood up. Everyone stood up to give a respect to Daksha, but 2 personalities did not stand up. So they are Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. So Daksha, he was son to Lord Brahma. So therefore Daksha did not mind Brahmaji uh, stand up, or he will not expect also Brahmaji to stand up, because Daksha is his son, and he should offer respects to Brahmaji. But in the external plane, Lord Shiva is son-in-law. So therefore, Daksha is considering Lord Shiva to be inferior, and he is expecting Lord Shiva to respect him. So Daksha noticed that Shiva did not respect him by standing. So therefore, he became angry towards Shiva, and he went and he sat on his throne, and he was like he started addressing the assembly. So he became very angry with Shiva. Like he started speaking harsh words, but before speaking those harsh words, he started addressing the assembly that, "Oh sadhus," is addressing all assembly, that I will now narrate the conduct of sadhus. That means I will narrate the conduct of well-mannered people. So how the well-mannered people behave in this world. And don't think that I may speak what is the conduct of good people. See, in that it seems that I am insulting someone, but don't think that I am speaking out of envy or ignorance. So before insulting Shiva, he is like covering up that I don't think I have hatred towards him. I am only mentioning the how a well-mannered person should behave. So in that way, he gave some introduction of his speech, and then started addressing, he started criticizing Lord Shiva. So, so he he says that this Shiva is very shameless. He doesn't have any shame. He doesn't have any shame, and because he has he has destroyed the fame of the all the Lokapalas, the protectors of the planets. That means like we are all controllers of this whole world, and we have a lot of fame. But because Shiva is also one of the Lokapala, controller of this Loka, and because he is not behaving properly, so therefore he is destroying the fame of all Lokapalas. And he is also very proud person. So because like he is considering himself very great and not standing up, so therefore he is very proud. So like that, in this way, he started addressing, criticizing Lord Shiva. But there is a uh, like the all the words that we speak, everything is supported by Mother Saraswati. So Mother Saraswati, she never allows anyone to criticize the Supreme Lord or the controllers of the Lord. So whenever the Supreme Lord Vishnu or Shiva, they are being blasphemed by some unscrupulous persons, those blasphemy also the other meaning can be given, which is like also prize. So that is called as Saraswata Artha. Saraswata Artha means like some person out of inimical nature, he starts criticizing the Supreme Lord. But the same criticism, if we interpret it in other way, can give rise to positive meaning. It is like a prize. So that person is not intending to prize, but that can also be taken as prize. So here, when he is referring, when he is insulting Lord Shiva as Sabda, all these things, so the positive meaning can also be taken. he is mentioning Shiva as shameless person, but indirectly he is glorifying Lord Shiva as that he he is the one who maintains all the people who doesn't have any shelter. So, and he is mentioning that he is destroying the fame of Lokapalas, but indirectly the Sanskrit can be adjusted in such a way that it can also be prized as by his own fame, he is deriding the fame of all others. That means Lord Shiva has so much fame that all others' fame will be very less in comparison to Lord Shiva. And he is Daksha was addressing him. So the main objection of Daksha is that he is accepting my daughter, like he has taken the position of subordinate, that he has become my son-in-law. He took the hand of my daughter. So therefore, he should accept me. He should behave, respect me. But he is only pretender. He is not respecting. So he is he has behaved, taken as a sadhu, a gentle person. He has taken subordinate position, but he is behaving badly. So, but the positive meaning is that, under Shiva understood that I am actually a very bad person. So therefore, he did not stand up and welcome. And he understood the great qualities in my daughter. So therefore, she accepted my daughter. And see the words that are used by Daksha. He is addressing Shiva as Markata Lochana. Markata Lochana means one who has having eyes like a markata monkey, and he has married my daughter who is having deer-eyed, fawn-eyed. It's very beautiful eyes my daughter has, but this person has monkey-eyed person. But now he is not even offering some sweet words. This way he is insulting. But the positive meaning is that Saraswata is that Shiva, he mercifully grants his desires to even a monkey like people like me who is completely involved in this material activities. So, and unfortunately, I have not respected it. And also one of the objection that Shiva is that Daksha is that in general. So Daksha, if we consider externally, he was like very wealthy person, and he is like a king, and he has so many people glorifying him. So all these things made Daksha very proud. So this, if one doesn't recognize that any opulence in this world has come from the Supreme Lord, so that will make the person very proud, and he derides all other persons uh, the who doesn't have. So one should be very careful of this pride. So his main objection is that I am very greatly aristocratic person, king, and having lot of opulences. But this Shiva, he I don't want to give my daughter to this Shiva, but on the instruction of this creator, Brahma, I gave my daughter to him. And this person, he doesn't behave like an aristocratic person. He always lives in crematorium, in Smashan Bhumi he lives, and he is sometimes doesn't wear dress properly. He is wearing some deer skin, and he sometimes laughs, sometimes cries, and behaves like a mad person. He is not according to our society. He is not behaving according to level of my family. So therefore, he developed that negative attitudes towards that Lord Shiva. And while saying that I gave my daughter on the request of this creator, he is not even addressing Brahmaji as his father. He is addressing him as creator. So that means he has become so proud that all others are not intelligent. I am only the intelligent person. So even Brahmaji is also not intelligent. Because of that, he suggested to give my daughter to Shiva, who is not at all properly behaving. So in this way, that is the main problem with Daksha. Because of his pride, he could not see the, and because of his pride, seeing that Lord Shiva behaving like that, he find fault with Shiva and developed that negative attitude. And over the time, that negative attitude grew, and when he did not stood up, he burst out. He gave his words. So any negative feelings that one develops towards other personalities, that will slowly build up over the time. And at one point of time, that may one may give vent to those feelings. So that's what happened to Daksha. So he's an example of proud person and example of fault finder. So all the negative qualities, those are being exemplified by Daksha here. So one can learn a lot of lessons from the character that is being portrayed by Daksha in this episode, whole episode. So in this way, he is insulting Lord Shiva. But as I mentioned, the positive meanings can also be taken where when he's addressing Shiva is like he laughs, cries in crematorium, his auspicious name only. Actually, the positive meaning is that Lord Shiva is mad with prema for the Supreme Lord. So it is mentioned that Shiva is the Vaishnavanam Yada Shambhu. He is the greatest among the Vaishnavas. And he is always engrossed in chanting the name of Lord Ram, Lord Krishna. He is the supreme worshipper. Later on, Shiva also mentions to Sati that I always meditate on Lord Vasudeva, who is situated in everyone's heart. So that is his meditation. So therefore, out of ecstasy for the Lord, he is always mad and he dances, he laughs. So these are all the ecstatic symptoms that he is exhibiting. So in this way, he is indirectly glorifying his exalted nature. And in some Puranas, it is mentioned that exalted persons, Vaishnavas, they smear ashes on the body as an exalted activity of Vaishnavism scriptures it is mentioned. So that's how he is glorifying. So he is, by his presence, he will make even most worst place into most auspicious place. So therefore, there is no more auspicious person than him. That's why he is Shiva. So, and in this way, indirect, he purifies even the impure persons. And he is merciful even to the mad persons. And his mind is merciful even to the sinful personality like me. So he maintains ghosts. So like ghosts are generally compared to very low creatures. Like they always give trouble to all other persons. So there is no one who can take care of ghosts. Lord Shiva is so merciful that he gives even shelter to ghosts. So that's how he is so magnanimous. So in that way, Lord Shiva is like glorified indirectly. So now Daksha, and we look at direct meaning, he was like insulting Shiva like him. And finally, out of anger, he cursed uh, Lord Shiva. So this Lord Shiva, who is like lowest among all the devatas, he should not get any share in the sacrificial oblations. So that means, like whenever people perform sacrifice, so in general in Kali Yuga, we may not be able seeing someone performing sacrifice also, but in previous ages, the sacrifice is the main activity for all the spiritual, all the people in general. So where they offer the ghee and other substances to the fire, and that will be carried through fire god to all the different devatas. All the devatas they get nourished through that sacrifice. So Daksha was also getting nourished through that sacrifice. So and he is very much attached to those fruits of that sacrifice, that nourishment that he gets. And he is thinking that everyone, all the other devatas also, they are hankering for that devata. Shiva as a one of the devatas, he also gets his share in the sacrifice. Now, Daksha is cursing Lord Shiva that he should not get any share in any sacrificial fire. So the mentality of Daksha is again reflected here because he is so much attached to these fruits of sacrifice, the sacrificial offerings. He is thinking that Shiva is also hankering for those kind of fruits. So therefore, he is cursing that he should not receive that. But indirectly, that is a boon to Shiva because he is a Vaishnava and he does not have any inclination for any material enjoyment like enjoying the fruits of sacrifice along with other devatas. So he can be like he can be in blissful state of worshipping the Lord. He should have attending all these parties of devatas where all the material activities take place. So that's how it like turns out to be a boon. So, but Daksha's mentality is that because that is more dear to me, he is thinking that that is also dear to him, and therefore I will deprive him. So, therefore, may Shiva should not receive a portion of the sacrifice. So, in this way, and he cursed Shiva, and all the people in that assembly, everyone is requesting, don't become angry, be peaceful, be peace, and don't leave. But he became so angry that he cursed and left the assembly, thinking his mentality is that in this assembly, no one is intelligent like me. So therefore, in this assembly, there is I should not stay here because no one is intelligent, no one is sadhu here. So in this way, he left. I should not stay in assembly where adharmic people are situated. So even though others are calling, he left that place. So in this way, Daksha exhibited pride, anger, in harsh words, everything, all the negative tendencies he exhibited. So, but Lord Shiva is exemplary nature, was also we can notice here. Although Daksha was showing so much anger and he was cursing, but Shiva did not respond. He did not react immediately. And understanding that Lord Shiva was cursed, Nandishwara, who is the Vahana of Lord Shiva, he became very angry. He was one of the Parshad of Lord Shiva, very associate of Lord Shiva. He became very angry and he started counter cursing Daksha, and also he counter cursed all the Brahmanas who tolerated Daksha's cursing Shiva. So he addressing that whoever is supporting Daksha and neglected Lord Shiva, they are very less intelligent. And because they are identifying them with themselves with this body, they are bereft of transcendental knowledge. So, and because they are so much absorbed in karma kanda, Veheshu Kota Dharmeshu, in that lower understanding of the Vedas, and they always want Gramya Sukechaya, the material enjoyment through senses. So, therefore, they are so much attached to this ritualistic karma kanda, and they are like completely uh, attached to this karma kanda, uh, which is like superficial explanation of the Vedas, and therefore their intelligence is not there. So therefore, because he does not have Daksha does not have that intelligence, let Daksha should have a head of a goat, and he so very shortly he will get the head of a goat, and persons who supported uh, Daksha and insulted Lord Shiva. So therefore, let the mind of them be always absorbed in these fruitive activities and let them continue in samsara. So that means any person who is like continuously hankering for material sense gratification. one should understand that that is not like a very good situation. So if one's mind is attached to material sense gratification, that will keep on giving us samsara. But if one's mind is liberated from the thoughts of sense gratification, he is like getting out of this samsara, getting liberated. And he is also addressing that let these people, Brahmanas, let them take to education, austerity, and vows, all these things, only for the purpose of maintaining the body. And they will also lose discrimination in eating and let them become beggars simply for the satisfaction of the body. So they will become like they don't have any discrimination what to eat, what not to eat, and let them wander as beggars. So in this way, he cursed the Brahmanas who supported Daksha while he was cursing Lord Shiva. So Bhrigu understood that unnecessarily, like Nandishwar is cursing the whole Brahmana community who are like offending Shiva. So he counter curses Lord Shiva's followers. So it is like one person is insulting and that they are like extending to other personalities. So like he is Bhrigu curses the followers of Lord Shiva that let them become pashandis. That means let them become Ashandis, atheists, and let them be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions, which are like the genuine scriptures which will propagate the genuine truths. Let them become obstacles, means let them deviate from this original, like real meaning, and let them become addicted to wine, flesh, etc. And they take the views of Pashandis, means atheistic views, and they may like which will always object the position of Lord Janardana. So in this way, uh, he was like counter cursing the followers of Lord Shiva. So Shiva, hearing that they are cursing and counter cursing that is being exhibited by everyone, maybe they may insult even my Lord Janardana also. So therefore, he understanding that situation is getting worse, immediately left that place without saying anything, without his followers. So Shiva, in this way, he did not aggravate the situation, but by leaving, he kind of like like he did not he like the thing that stopped there. Otherwise, in an angry situation, the situation will keep on getting worse if some person reacts more angrily, other person reacts more angrily. So that will keep on, that bitterness will keep on increase, and that may lead to even wars also. So here Shiva left. And when Shiva left, the personalities, other personalities, both Shiva and Daksha were absent, but other personalities, they continued that yajna for 1,000 years, and they completed. And completing that yajna, they all took bath in the Avbrita bath, and in this way they purified their heart and they went to their respective places. So in this way, Daksha yajna, that Daksha insulted Lord Shiva, that is mentioned here. In the subsequent chapters, Daksha, that enmity or that bitterness or those things that are developed between Daksha and Shiva, that will continue. That means there is no more talking between Lord Shiva and Daksha. And Sati, she wanted to go to one more sacrifice being performed by Daksha. So in that there is a conversation between Lord Shiva and Sati, and Sati wanted to go, but Lord Shiva does not want her to go. But finally she goes, and the episode that took place, that Sati gives up her life. All those narration will discuss in the next section. Stop here. Then
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So now we have entered into the story parts. It will be more interesting.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So continuing the next week. Thank you, everyone. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri
Srila Prabhupada, Sri
Hare
Guru
Krishna,
Dev.
Prabhu.